Starting school and how to protect your tired little one. It's a tricky time when they start school because some little ones are starting school and they're about to turn 5, and other little ones have literally just turned 4, and a few weeks ago they were only 3. So there's a vast difference in the age and developmental stage of school starters. That said, you'll have little ones about to turn 5 who find it very tiring, and you'll have little ones who are still the very younger ones in the year who manage it okay. There's no telling, and it's not entirely down to age. They're all different. But nevertheless, it's likely at some point in that first term that your little one's going to struggle and be a bit tired, and it's a big adjustment to make anyway. Something I often see as well is parents who have sent their children to nursery, and perhaps full time. They've done a long nursery day of maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning right through to 6 p.m. They're long nursery days or preschool days, and the parents think, well, we'll be fine, they're used to it. The school day's much shorter. If they can do nursery that long, they can do school. The surprise we're going to have is it's different. In the nursery or preschool setting, it's something they've probably adjusted to from a young age. It's very much play-based, and while school is play-based too, it's new, it's different, it's big school, and just the entire adjustment and the change and the classroom and the friendship making and the kind of the pressures around that are exhausting for a child. So don't assume that just because they're used to having the stamina of that length of day at preschool or even at home means that they'll be able to handle the day at school. It's tiring in a whole different way. It's mentally and emotionally tiring. So what can you do? 3 tips for you. Number 1, early nights. Whatever bedtime is, you can bring that back by anything up to an hour. 30 minutes earlier, an hour earlier, it's really gonna help. So just get that process started sooner in the evening and get them down so they're asleep sooner. You'll know that they're ready. You'll see your child will drop off because they are good and ready for sleep. So don't hold them to the usual bedtime during this time if an earlier bed will help. Number 2 is after school snooze. An after school snooze is fine. I remember I couldn't even get from school to home without my little one falling asleep in the car. That's how tiring it can be at the beginning of school. So if you get that after school snooze on the car ride home or the pushchair ride home, or even when you get home and it's on the sofa, it's fine. Don't panic and go, oh no, bedtime will be a disaster. It will be fine. And actually, it's not a bad thing if you do walk to school. It's not a bad thing to take a pushchair and let your little one have that ride home rather than the walk home in those first few weeks, because maybe they are really tired and need that little rest, and it could be the perfect time to take a little after school snooze so that then when they get home, they're awake again, have a little playtime before it's time to settle down for the evening. Will it disrupt your child's bedtime? Most likely not. Not if it's just a snooze. If it's anything under half an hour in length, you should be fine. And it's not that the length of time from having that sleep to bedtime is necessarily big enough. It might not be that big a time from when they wake up from that snooze to when they settle for bed. It's the fact that that little snooze has just helped top them up because they were so tired, and then bedtime as usual. And the other one is maybe if that doesn't happen and you haven't really had many early nights, maybe you have had some early nights but you still have a tired child, is to allow a weekend nap. If you're out at the weekend and your child nods off in the car or on the go, it's okay. And don't again panic and go, oh, we don't sleep in the day anymore. This is going to knock off the whole bedtime and nighttime, and it will be fine. You've got a child who's tired right now, coping with some changes. If your child nods off, it's because they're tired. So let them get a catch up, let them fill up that sleep tank a little bit. It will stand them in good stead, and it will prevent other things coming unstuck. Because as you may know, if you've seen other episodes that I've shared, overtiredness is usually the cause of most night sleep problems. So if you allow overtiredness to carry on, by the end of that first term, you might have bedtime battles, you might have disturbed nights, you might have early waking at 5 a.m. and all of that could be because your child is overtired. So letting them have these catch-ups, those weekend naps can be great. Sometimes it's even worth planning an outing or a trip out in the car in the middle of the day where you know that will actually accommodate a snooze, and you can pretty much insinuate that, make sure that happens, and help your child top up on some sleep. Not doing too much at the weekends helps as well. Not jumping into after school clubs or too much activity during the first term can also be a really helpful tip. Just taking it easy, letting your child adjust into the school life and the school routine, and avoiding them getting desperately overtired. So I hope that helps you with your little one starting school. If you enjoyed this episode, or you know some people who it would really help, then please do share it with them, tag them, and subscribe to the Sleep Nanny Show so that you get notifications when we release new episodes. You'll find a link to a handy guide below, so click that link and get your free download. And I'll catch up with you on the next episode soon. Take care.